Okay, we have arrived. It is the eve of college football. Don't worry, we still have 2 more weeks of inane Lions conversations before they take the field. We have Florida State, Georgia Tech. We have SMU at Nevada. Come on, who's excited? But here's the deal. This is the first year of the 12-team playoff. No man has stumped for this more than Rico Beard. So we're going to lead with his bracket. David, you said you have some production. Jim Mora. All right. Let's start, as Rico puts it, with the poverty school, the 12 seed. Rico with a very sexy selection here out of the AAC, the Memphis Tigers.
Yeah, Mike, when you look at Memphis' schedule, I think they're going to play
Florida State.
That's it. The reason why I chose Memphis over Boise State, because I think Memphis can at least keep the game closer.
And you can't have Pool Boy University in the playoff.
Which will help them because Boise State has to play Oregon, who I think will just take it to Boise State. So that score is going to be a lot worse. So when you look at, okay, you play one real team and you were in the ballpark, that's going to give them the nod.
Yeah, you can't let Liberty in for a multitude of reasons.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. You didn't even consider Liberty because you said Memphis over Boise State.
Correct.
Okay.
Because Liberty's not playing anybody, David. To me, you're rewarding just somebody showing up to class and not turning in any work.
Or sitting in the corner of the bedroom. All right. The 5 seed. Memphis taking on Oregon.
The Oregon Ducks. I have Oregon because...
Yeah, at 5. This is very surprising.
Well, because the conference champions get 1 through 4. So, therefore, I think Oregon will be the best of the teams that was not the conference champion.
They don't win the Big Ten in your mind.
They do not win the Big Ten, but they are the best team, not a conference champion.
Let's go to the 8-9 matchup. The 9 seed. This is very surprising to me. Florida State.
Florida State, Mike. I think that Florida State has enough going for them. DJU at the quarterback. First of all, I think the NCAA and the College Football Committee kind of wants to say, we're sorry for leaving you out. So if they're close, they're going to be in. I think that they will end up finishing second in the ACC.
Playing the 8 seed, the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Penn State has really 2 tough games.
And they'll lose them both and still make the playoff.
And one I don't even think is a tough game. I think they'll lose Ohio State at home. And they go on the road to USC. Let's just say they do lose them both. They're 10-2. That will be enough to get them.
All right. The 11 seed, the LSU Tigers.
Oh, wow.
I like the LSU Tigers. You got Ole Miss at home. You get Bama at home. You get Oklahoma at home. You're on the road at A&M, and you're on the road at Florida. But Florida is late in the season, and by that time, they could have fired their coach.
And it produces a matchup where Kenny will be able to sit at home with his pants around his ankles and root for the Meteor to take both teams out. The 6 seed, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Kalen DeBoer, I think that he will get this Bama team where they need to be. They won't win the SEC, but I think that's still Alabama. They're still loaded with players.
The 10-7 matchup is a nerd fest. This is my favorite game of the first round by Rico Beard. The 10 seed, your Big 12 champion, Kansas State Wildcats.
No, Big 12 runner-ups.
Whoa. Time out.
Kansas State still makes it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is good by Rico, and I want to apologize. K-State, why?
K-State, Mike, scheduling all of their tough opponents. Oklahoma State, Arizona, and Kansas, all ranked teams, all going to be played in Manhattan.
All right, and up next, caller Rob from Brighton will be making a baby in the front seat of his car. Notre Dame's in at 7.
Notre Dame, their schedule, very favorable. Yes, they lost their left tackle, but after they play their first game against A&M, their next toughest game will be Florida State at home.
All right, so let's carry Notre Dame through. We'll stay at the bottom of the bracket. You have the number 2 overall seed. I love this. Love. And if you listen to Cash the Ticket, you know I love this team. the number 2 seed, Utah Utes.
Number 2.
Wow. Number 2, because, David, I think that Utah could run through the Big 12 and go undefeated.
You put some respect on Cam Rising's name.
If Rising is what we think that he's going to be, they're going to play a good enough defense. They could win the Big 12. They're going to be the Big 12 champions. And I can explain it later because I think the other teams in a certain conference will cannibalize each other.
Notre Dame, Utah, who wins?
I got Utah.
Talk about a slugfest, by the way. That Notre Dame defense is going to be good.
It is.
But
first team to 20 points.
The 3 seed, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Ohio State is in the Big Ten, and I think they will have losses where I think Utah may go through 12-0 or 13-0, including their championship game. Ohio State's going to lose a game, at least I think 1. So that's why I have the Buckeyes at 3.
They take on Alabama. You have OSU winning?
I do.
Why?
I think at this point, Ryan Day will be feeling the fire. He will know, okay, I need to do so. I got the team. I got the skill position players. Alabama, Kalen DeBoer, I think it'll be a good game, but I think that Ryan Day and Ohio State will have the edge in that game, especially because it's going to be played in Columbus.
The next one...
No, that'll be a bowl game. I'm sorry, that'll be a regular bowl game. I'm sorry.
The next one represents James Franklin's funeral. Penn State taking on the number 1 overall seed, Georgia Bulldogs.
Think MSU, Alabama.
I'd prefer not to.
Playoff game. Kenny?
Or Georgia, Michigan.
How do you say it, Kenny? Orbital...
Ramming speed.
Yeah. Orbital ramming speed.
Think drowning in your own toilet.
Over by halftime.
The number 4 seed, and I've never been prouder of the man to my left. He finally has agreed with me on something. The number 4 seed, the U.
They have just
a spoil of riches.
If they can't win the ACC,
they'll never win it.
The coach needs to be fired on the spot. Finishing second is unacceptable.
I was going to ask you, Rico. The coach is my big bugaboo with the U. Mario Cristobal, I think, likes to choke on his own tongue in a lot of games.
You can't. Like, this schedule is idiot-proof. Like, there are training wheels and bumper rails.
He's ACC James Franklin.
Oh.
Am I wrong?
Kenny, I think this is crystal ball proof. Their schedule.
Nothing, my friend, is crystal ball proof. Last year proved it.
But Miami takes on Oregon. And you have who winning?
I have Oregon winning.
Now, this sets up a Final Four. So think about this world. I will give Rico credit in this regard, even though he's wrecked a lot of the sport. Look at the games we've gotten to see here. This is good stuff. You end up primarily in the same place, which is a little problematic for me, but that's fine. You end up with
one upset.
Oregon, Georgia, OSU, Utah. Oregon versus Georgia. Georgia wins.
Georgia wins. Yeah. Georgia just has too much talent. I think you'll probably see a game very similar to the Oregon-Washington Huskies games, where they'll go back and forth for a while, and then Georgia will just pull away.
OSU, Utah.
That one I went waffling back and forth on.
You really like Will Howard, don't you?
I do. Well, I think that I like the fact that Chip Kelly's there. And I think Chip Kelly's going to take that offense and take it away from Ryan Day and come up with the key plays at the right time. And I got Ohio State winning that game.
And Georgia versus OSU for all the marbles, the rematch of the famous Marvin Harrison Jr. game.
And I think it goes the same way. Georgia kicks the field goal. They win the game. They're the national champions.
Doesn't it feel – here's my thing. I think this is a rarity in the new era of college football where the top seed will win it. Georgia feels like 2 levels above everyone else, both with frontline talent and depth. I don't think in most years the number 1 overall is going to survive this crazy.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that most years.
But I think there's a real shot for it to be formful this year. Would you agree?
I agree.
Okay, David. 248-539-9797. Rico's bracket is going up on the wall. Memphis, Oregon, Florida State, Penn State, LSU, Bama, KSU, ND, your top 4 seeds, Utah, Ohio State, Georgia, Miami, and UGA winning it all. Any criticisms, compliments, or anything in between, we'll get to the ticket text next. This goes on the wall now. This is in the dinner competition.
All right.
This is your college football. You did it.
I got the backup right here. So
You did it.
We're good to go.
No, we're not taping your iPad to the wall. We'll use the paper.
I said I have the backup
Okay.
just in case.
97.1.